Hi everyone, I'm back with another review. Welcome. And this week, yesterday, I actually finished this book right here called Promise Not to Tell by Jennifer McMahon? I don't know. But it says Promise Not to Tell. It has this girl looking kind of freakishly in the cover. It says I killed someone tonight on the front. This retails for $13.99. I bought it at Goodwill for $1. It has 250 pages exactly. It is paperback. I don't know if they have these in hardcover, but it would be, you can check that out. And she has some more books, you can tell in the back here, that she has written. So this book I thought it was going to be kind of like a thriller type of crime story, kind of like Law and Order type of thing. And it was to some extent, but it wasn't to what I thought. Now what happens is, this girl grows up in Vermont, okay? And she has friends and she has her family and a lot of things go on in that place in Vermont. And then when she grows up, she decides to leave Vermont. She goes to another state and there she becomes a nurse. But her mom becomes ill. After so many years, her mom is really sick with Alzheimer's disease. And so she has to come back to take care of her mom and try to figure out what to do with her mom because her mom can't live by herself. When she was a child, her best friend died. And the first night that she comes back to Vermont, there's another girl with the same, what they thought the same descriptions, but the same, the same type of killing, died as well the night. She was found the same way as her best friend. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not making sense. That's okay. So, they instantly start connecting her to the case. Because she has just arrived and this has just happened, and they start questioning her about her best friend's death, and all of that goes on. Now in town there's this big say that everything, storms happen, another killing happened, everything, they say it's the girl's ghost coming back to get revenge because the girl was bullied in school. She had a bad father that violated her. She had a really, hard time when this girl was growing up before she was killed. And so they say that it's her ghost coming back. I'll leave it at that. There is a ghost prospect in the story. You would have to read it to find out who is she taking hold of. But it is. If you have ever watched kind of like Law and Order, but more so Criminal Minds and shows like that, it's kind of like that, the scene. You won't find it so gruesome. I think that, what's it called? People that wrote them back, forget. They say it's amazing and it's so scary and everything. I don't like this type of story. I don't gravitate towards this type of story. Sorry, squirrel. I don't gravitate towards this type of story, but I didn't find it scary. I liked it, in a horrible way. Throughout the story, you're gonna see her story, and it goes back and forth between the present time and the time when she was growing up in Vermont with her best friend. So it goes back and forth. It did take me a little bit to get used to that, because if you read the prologue, it's talking about the night of the second killing, and then all of a sudden you're thrown back to the past with people you don't know, with people you haven't heard of, and then you're thrown to the present. You know, it took me a little bit of time. In the beginning I was not having it, but after I got used to it, it was fine. So what I didn't like about this book was the ghost prospect. I don't like black magic, demon possession, ghost type of stories. I don't like the whole Stephen King type of story. It's just not me. And this ghost taking possession and speaking as if the girl was coming back through this person, it was too much for me at that point. I didn't like that, and I will be getting rid of this book as soon as I finish this review, just because I don't like having this type of thing in my house. I don't know, I feel like it brings bad stuff to my house. But as far as the story goes, it wasn't scary. You do keep it in a little bit of a suspense. You kind of guess who the killer is, because the killer with the first killing was never found, and it's the same one. It turns out to be the same one with the second one. There are a few surprises along the way that you will see. So it was a good book. It was well written, I feel. It was an easy read. I think that if you have the time, I personally don't. I have a toddler that is now watching Curious George in front of me. But if you have the time, you could probably finish in one day, like one sitting. If not, maybe two. It's really easy read. Glides through. She has a way with her words. She knows, you know, it was a good book. And I think you're gonna like it. And at the end of it, it makes you think, it makes you ponder about your own life. At least with me it did. It made me think of my past and seeing what stones I had unturned and all of that stuff. But if it wasn't for the ghost prospect of it, I would probably keep on reading all of her other books. I don't know if they all have ghosts or demon possessions or anything like that in her other books. I would have to check it out. But I really enjoyed it. So pick it up if you find it. Goodwill, Dollar Tree, like I always say. Pick it up. Promise Not to Tell. It's a really good book. I feel like for winter months or October or something like that, it would be really quick, easy read. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye.